There's a big wealth shift going on right now. And basically, the people that are winning are the ones that are putting themselves out there and putting their brands out there. And that's exactly why I started my company, GoCreative.AI. So today, I'm going to explain to you guys why marketing is so important and how you should get into it and how you can actually truly monetize from getting into marketing. Sales skills are powerful, but if you have no leads, you can't really do anything with it. So that's why marketing is so important. If you're in any sort of business, whether in real estate, AI, or you're trying to do a service-based business, you need to be very, very courteous and careful to make sure you're marketing correctly, to make sure you're targeting the right audience, and make sure you're really taking advantage of what you have. Because right now with AI and other tools, you are able to monetize a lot more than you could 5 or 10 years ago. So that's really why, like, if you're getting started now, you need to have a good marketing strategy. So I've talked about this in another video and it'll be linked above me, but you need to get into cold calling. If you're starting, I recommend to get into sales to understand who you're targeting and how to talk to people. Then the next step after that is, hey, how am I going to get more leads? So that's when you do cold emails, cold DMs, and you can also run ads. That's what I do, right? Marketing. But the only way you can make money is by marketing. And when I say marketing, I'm literally saying over marketing, because you can't over market your products. And why do you want to over market? Because the more people's eyes that see it, the more people that buy it, especially if you're getting into high tickets. So let's say you're selling a product for $3,000. And if you sell a product for $3,000, most people are going to say no to that product because simply they can't afford it, right? But you'll have a few that are willing to look at it. So the more eyes you have on it, the more people that are gonna be interested and actually want to talk to you on the phone or on a meeting. So how do I become a good marketer? How do I start now? Great question. I'm sure many of you guys hear this stuff, but you want to take proper action. And really the best way I would say to take proper action is you have to have some sort of money coming in, because any of these methods besides cold calling are going to cost you money, right? Even cold calling, you probably may even want to pay for leads, but there are free ways to get it. So you can do that as well. But for example, if you're doing cold emails, it's going to cost you 30, 40, $50 a month. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely does add up. So what should you do? I would say first learn marketing, learn how people act, because you're really selling your products on emotion. People buy products and buy things from emotion that is given from ads or from marketing, or if they like the person. So there are three reasons why people buy. Number one, emotional, right? I just mentioned this a second ago. When people feel an emotion towards the product, they're going to want to buy it. Number two, it's just psychology, right? You have to literally embed in their brains that your product is the best. And how do you do that? By having a personal brand. So that gets into number three, having a brand, having an image. The combination of those three things are going to get you tons of money. But the problem is you can't get there unless you have a name. You can't get there unless you have a brand. So the only way to get there is by having little bits of success and then adding those, stacking those together, and eventually you're gonna make a lot of money. And it's crazy because this has always been the gold mine. Like throughout all the years from the 90s to the 2000s, now we're in 2025, almost 2026 now, right? There are tons of new avenues, there's tons of new things that have come and go, but every single bit of it includes some sort of marketing, no matter what it is, right? So marketing is here to stay. And the way to make game changer wealth is by having good marketing strategies, right? So most people, and I'll explain kind of why I started my company, but most businesses and individuals in real estate fail, in my opinion, because of lack of marketing. And it has to do partly with sales, but it also has to do with what are they doing, like how they're targeting their audience, right? Because the problem is if you have no testimonials or you have no backing, people are not going to want to work with you, because why would they work with you if there's someone else who has more success and more money and actually understands the process? You have to kind of start slow. So whenever you're starting, I would recommend to get some sort of job or something where you're learning these skills. You learn how to communicate well. You learn how to market stuff well. You learn how to actually close deals and make money. And yes, you are working for someone, but that's going to be your path to get from where you are currently to the next step. And once you get to that next step, that's when you actually start owning your own business. That's when you actually start learning how to use these skills and actually monetizing from those skills. So again, if you are in real estate or you're a realtor and you are looking for help, or even a small business, you probably, if you're not doing well, it's probably due to you not having good marketing strategies. You're not advertising your products correctly. So why aren't you marketing your stuff well? Simple, right? In your text, you need to make sure you have some sort of either proof of concept that, hey, our client did X in this amount of time or something like that, or you have some proof. Hey, I have done this much in this amount of time. You need to have some sort of proof because there was nothing there. Um, no one's going to like it. Another one actually as well. Tired of this? Let's do this. This will make it simple for you because in reality, people are buying for convenience. And I actually had this conversation the other day with someone, and this is really important. I definitely wanted to mention it here. For example, this is an example, right? And this is about a potato. It's a very simple example, and you guys will clearly understand what I'm talking about here. So you could easily grow your own potatoes in the backyard. You easily could, but you decide to go to the store and actually get those potatoes. Why do you do that? Why do you pay $10 to get the potatoes at the store, but you could grow it in your house? It's convenience, it's time. Those two things are the reason why people buy. So whenever you're running your ad, you need to make sure that you're saving people's convenience, you're helping them, and you're also saving their time. You're making things better for them. You're making their life or whatever they're doing more efficient. And those two things are going to sell. Saying, hey, if you use my stuff, you're going to have more time to do whatever you want. That's a selling point. That's a pain point, because one pain point many people have is either they're not making enough money or they don't have enough time. It's one of those two things, because if you have a lot of money, realistically, you're probably not going to have a lot of time. And if you have a lot of time, you probably just aren't making any money. So one of those two things you got to use as a pain point. So whenever you're presenting your information on an ad to someone, they're going to see, wow, this is actually going to help me. You need to have some sort of value that you're dropping in there, because when people see value and they see it's actually going to help them, they're going to be more likely to click and sign up. So I think that's kind of why I build my business, right? And also with the tools I have, and I'll kind of get into this in future videos. And I actually have talked about this recently, but with these AI tools, you are able to run a business with basically no code, and you can automate a lot of it. So I automate a lot of my emails and a lot of my messages as well, and actually my ads as well. But it's extremely hard to make. Like, no one talks about how hard it is, but you have to get past that wave. And that's why I say, first, you get, number one, you get that skill and you learn how to talk to people. Number two, once you monetize that skill, you figure out, hey, how can I help another audience or the same audience have my own business? Then once you have your own audience, then you're on step three and you're like, okay, how am I going to market this? How am I going to get people walking in the door? And then after that, it's really like, okay, I'm making money. Let's scale. What's the next step? Let's get testimonials. Let's start putting more money into marketing. Let's start reaching out to more people. Let's get more eyes on it. There's a lot of other things that open up once you have success, but you have to start on the first step and learning the skill. So again, definitely, if you are interested in working with me, I have a very vast idea of how I could help you guys, especially if you're in real estate, because I was in real estate. I helped my company generate $150,000 in the last 6 months in assignment fees or commissions. So I have a very good understanding of how marketing works and how I can help your business. So definitely click the link below. And also I have another video up here for you guys who are new to real estate or in any other sales industry and you want to get started. I have a video up here that's going to help you guys get started and figure out your path. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to click that video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.